conviction in what we are doing, and uh, we created the world record, came back, drove back to Delhi to widespread accolades and adulations. So this was all the national level and international level coverage that we received for the land world record. And it was even lauded by the Prime Minister of India in his monthly address. He addresses the nation once a month. He almost spoke for close to 3 minutes, talking about the spirit that underlays the people with disabilities and how it also signifies the spirit that Indians would like to showcase.
मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, सियाचिन ग्लेशियर के बारे में हम सभी जानते हैं। वहां की ठंड ऐसी भयानक है जिसमें रहना आम इंसान के बस की बात ही नहीं। दूर दूर तक बर्फ ही बर्फ और पेड़ पौधों का तो नामो निशान नहीं है। यहाँ का तापमान -60 डिग्री तक भी जाता है। कुछ ही दिन पहले सियाचिन के दुर्गम इलाके में 8 दिव्यांग जनों की टीम ने जो कमाल कर दिखाया, वो हर देशवासी के लिए गर्व की बात। इस टीम ने सियाचिन ग्लेशियर की 15,000 फीट से भी ज्यादा की ऊंचाई पर स्थित कुमार पोस्ट पर अपना परचम लहराकर वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बना दिया। शरीर की चुनौतियों के बावजूद भी हमारे दिव्यांगों ने जो कारनामा कर दिखाया है, वो पूरे देश के लिए प्रेरणा है। और जब इस टीम के सदस्यों के बारे में जानेंगे तो आप भी मेरी तरह हिम्मत और हौसले से भर जाएंगे। इन जाबाज दिव्यांगों के नाम हैं महेश नेहरा उत्तराखंड के, अक्षत रावत महाराष्ट्र के, पुष्पक गवांडे हरियाणा के, अजय कुमार लद्दाख के, लोथांग चोस्पे तमिलनाडु के, मेजर द्वारके जम्मू कश्मीर के, इरफान अहमद मीर और हिमाचल प्रदेश की चोंजिन एंगो। सियाचिन ग्लेशियर को फतह करने का यह ऑपरेशन भारतीय सेना के विशेष बलों के बैटल्स की वजह से सफल हुआ। मैं इस ऐतिहासिक और अभूतपूर्व उपलब्धि के लिए इस टीम की सराहना करता हूँ। यह हमारे देशवासियों के कैन डू कल्चर, कैन डू डिटर्मिनेशन, कैन डू एटीट्यूड के साथ हर चुनौती से निपटने की भावना को भी प्रकट करता है।
So that was the speech of the Prime Minister of India on September 26th, where he spoke about the land world record created by Team Claw and the Operation Blue Freedom team of people with disabilities who reached Siachen Glacier. So with that, we come to the next world record, that is the water world record. So the water world record will be for the largest team of people with disabilities to scuba dive independently in open seas. Initially, we had planned it in Maldives, but due to impetus from the government of India, we'll be now executing it in Lakshadweep Islands in the month of February 2020. Starting today, we announced the Global Participant Campaign Open, where people with disabilities from across the globe can sign up for the event. Right. So people with disabilities who sign up will go through a process of screening, training, and ultimately flying into India to be able to break the world record. So with that, I would request all the people who are listening in. We are almost 120 people who have tuned in today. And I really appreciate you guys for taking your time out to spread the word in your circles. We know that, there's this big paradox of disabilities. If I was to tell you this 1 billion figure is a global figure, right? So in India, for example, there are close to 10 crores people with disabilities. If I was to tell you there are 10 crores people with disabilities in India, it's hard to visualize that kind of a numbers because there's a certain amount of invisibilization of people with disabilities where they are not seen in public spaces very often. So it is very, very important that we spread this word across. We take it to all the people with disabilities we know in our circle, share it on social media, and take the message to the last person out there that they can sign up for this. We'll be putting out the website. The website is claw.global. That is where the people with disabilities can sign up for the world record. We have an assortment of participants who will be signing up from globally, including military veterans, various icons with disabilities, and military veterans and icons with disabilities, and especially Handicap Scuba Association, who walked with us in this journey very, very powerfully. So with that, I've come to the last stretch of today's event, where I will be launching the trailer for the Water World Record to be scheduled in Lakshadweep. So that was a brief trailer about the Water World Record, and I'm sure we'll have an exciting time going forward in executing this Water World Record. So I can see that there are a lot of attendees who were asking us things and asking us questions, and we would come to that section in a little while. Yeah, and we really appreciate and acknowledge all the love and support that you guys have been showing. Thank you very much. With that, we move to the next segment, where we will have the Operation Blue Freedom Water World Record global ambassadors from 7 different countries, so who will be speaking about their personal journeys, and will be outlining their synergies with Operation Blue Freedom. And we'll also be talking about why this idea of institutionalizing adaptive therapeutic adventure sports for people with disabilities is significant. So I'll first introduce the first panelist for today. Mark Roche, Major Mark Roche, retired. He's a US Air Force veteran, and he's been somebody who has been training people with disabilities in adaptive scuba diving for over 30 years. He has himself suffered PTSD after his deployment in Iraq, and he healed himself through scuba diving. So he realizes the power of it. So he took it upon himself and as a life mission to institutionalize this for people with disabilities across the globe. Over to Mark Roche. Yeah.
Okay, well, greetings, everyone. It's an honor to be here, and especially to be a part of this historic event with Team Claw. And also congratulations on the mountain world record, the Glacier. Quite honestly, I'm not sure if I could have made it. So hats off to everyone on that extraordinary event. So yes, you know, a little bit about me. So my son was actually born with a disability. He was born with cystic fibrosis, if anyone knows what that is. But at any rate, he died at the age of 18, a horrible death. So, so after he died, that had pretty much devastated me, actually. I was a successful healthcare engineer. I was a successful military officer. You know, I really thought that there was nothing that I couldn't do or couldn't fix, but I couldn't fix this one. So that put me into a pretty serious tailspin. But fortunately, with the help of some other people, I was able to pull up from that. And one of the things that I realized was that my life is really not about me. It's just about helping others with disabilities. And so once I kind of came to that realization, you know, I've been able to pull up from that. And I think that, you know, if you have ever experienced the loss of a loved one or a family member, you know, you realize that that void may not ever go away. So what I chose to do is to fill it with something good. And for me, that happened to be the Handicapped Scuba Association, which I've been teaching for a long time. And so for me, that's what fills that void, in sharing the excitement and the fun of scuba diving with others. And so that's why I'm still here. And so I'm excited to be a part of Team Claw. I'm excited to be a part of this event. I'm actually not someone who normally likes to talk about himself very much. I don't know if that's a military thing or not, but so I am a course director for the HSA. I've been doing that for a few years. And in my retirement life, I'm actually a doctoral student. I am studying disability and leadership in the recreational sport of scuba diving. So I spend a lot of time with the computer these days, and hopefully I'll be finishing, hopefully, knock on wood, next year. But that's a little bit about me. You know, I'm excited to be here and excited to be a part of this historic event. And I'm looking forward to the Quiet Healing Center. Yeah. I could use some healing myself. So
definitely,
all right.
Mark. Definitely, Mark. Thank you for your kind words, and we can we understand your humility, and yeah, thank you so much for being part of this journey. You, in fact, Handicapped Scuba Association, headed by Jim Gattaker. Jim Gattaker is himself a US paratrooper and a military veteran who founded Handicapped Scuba Association 40 years back. He has supported us in this journey very, very powerfully. And we thank Jim Gattaker, Mark Ross, and Handicapped Scuba Association for walking this journey with us all through this. With that, I move to the next panelist for the day, Daniela Brown. So Daniela Brown is another very unique personality. She's from a Paralympic gold medalist twice. She's won the gold medal twice in archery, and she's one of the very few people to have also taken part in the non-disabled category and still reach a world level event. Yeah, so that's a bit about Danielle Brown. She's also walked this journey with us quite some time. There's been quite uncertainties around the event thanks to COVID, but still, you know, it's really nice that you all still believe in us, and definitely together we'll make this happen very, very powerfully. So over to Danielle, if you could speak a little bit about your personal journey and your take on Operation Blue Freedom. Danielle.
Sure, thank you. Very, very excited to be here, coming in from the UK. So my disability journey, I became disabled as a teenager. So I was 11 years old when my feet started to hurt. At 16, I got a diagnosis. My disability is called complex regional pain syndrome. So it's a neurological condition, so caused by my brain, and it means that I'm in chronic pain in both my feet all the time. Now, this was really difficult as a teenager. You know, you've got these big dreams, and I wanted to achieve so much, but I had this disability, and I really worried that it would affect my future. So it knocked my self-confidence, my self-esteem, my belief. And it was tough, but sport completely changed my life. At 15, I took up archery with my dad. I was so rubbish at it to start with, but it was just so much fun. I was back outside, I was back doing sport. And in 3 years, I was on the Great Britain team. I jumped straight in at world number 1, hung on to that position for the rest of my career, and it was amazing. But going on to the Paralympic side was brilliant, but what I found about archery was a really accessible sport. I also made it onto the able-bodied team, and my first able-bodied competition was actually the Commonwealth Games in Delhi in 2010. I absolutely loved that event. Loved going to India. It was the first time I've been there. It was really, really amazing. And for me, it was all about ability. It was about what I could do. And I had an amazing team around me that helped me keep up with the faster pace of the able-bodied side of things and the higher scores. So it was amazing. And won a gold medal there with my team, which was brilliant. So for me, when I look at sport, I think sport is a very powerful vehicle for change. Sport can bring so many things to so many people. And I have to admit, scuba diving is something that I've not done before. I'm about to start my training, but I think that's a really important message too. Sport can be accessed by so many people, and we've all got to start from somewhere. So I'm really looking forward to being on this journey, really believe in what the guys are doing here. And I'm really, really excited to join you on the world record.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel, for your time, your support, your belief in us, and for sharing your journey with us. I'm sure for all the people who've been listening, that's one of the key aims that we have around Operation Blue Freedom. It's not about just creating fancy world records. Of course, it's a big part of it, but it is about institutionalizing ideas. It's about sharing ideas, and it's about inspiring people and learning from each other. So I'm sure your words would have helped people who are listening in today. With that, thank you so much, Daniel. With that, we move to the next panelist. I will introduce Leo Morales. Leo Morales is from Mexico, and he's a course director of PADI. He's a course director of Handicap Scuba Association, and basically, he's a person with disability. He lost one of his leg. He's amputated above knee, but that didn't stop him from picking up scuba diving. Not just picking up scuba diving, but reaching levels where he is being a course director is the apex level in the professional recreational scuba diving space. He reached that space where he became one of the top course directors. And not just that, he went on to break world records. Not just as a special category for people with disabilities, but as a composite category for everyone. In fact, he held the world record for the previous deepest scuba dive before it got broken subsequently. But that's the story of Leo Morales. Over to Leo. Leo, you need to unmute yourselves. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, Leo, please go ahead.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Well, it's as I was saying, it's a real honor, a true honor to be here and being part of this amazing project. My name is Leo Morales, and there is not much left to say after everything you already said for me, but I am an amputee. I lost my right leg because of the cancer. So people say that my expectation of life will not be bigger or larger than 5 years. So I was under a big, bad depression, and I was also suffering PTSD. So a friend of mine showed me how to scuba diving, and that experience changed my life. So I became a recreational diver. Then I started to do a technical diving as well, and I became a scuba instructor, then a course director for sure. And my golden dream was to teach people with disabilities. So I became a course director for the HSA, the Handicap Scuba Association. Now I'm passing all my day and all my life teaching and training people for scuba diving. So also I hold the 2 scuba world records, the deepest disabled diver in all the entire world. I dove 125 meters or 425 feet, I guess. And then in the next year, I dove the longest distance. We dove 20,000 meters or 20 kilometers in almost 9 hours without coming out from the surface. So we're using a rebreather, that machine who allowed us to stay under the water for a long time. So it's a real honor. I would love the idea to contribute and helping in every way I can. For me, it's an inspiration what you are doing, guys, and helping other people with amputees and all kind of people who is in need. I always say that the underwater world is the closest stage to be like in the outer space. I mean, there is no disability under the water, is the closer to be in the zero gravity. So everyone can join, everyone can breathe under the water. And this is not just a sport, but it's a life-changing and a second opportunity for people to rediscover their own capabilities. So disability is not an inability, right? Disability is just in our mind. Thank you so much. It's a true honor to be part of this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. Your journey is really touching, inspiring, and I'm sure it will inspire generations to come. Thank you so much, Leo. So with that, we move to the next panelist. Due to certain circumstances, Saeed Zarouri from Iran has not been able to join us as yet. So we move to Viktor Petrov. Viktor Petrov, we accidentally connected over LinkedIn. He's a well-wisher and he's an inshore air diver. He's a commercial diver. So his expertise primarily comes in. So when we came outside and when we were looking to express ourselves, transfer our skill sets for the betterment of the society, we were looking for avenues to express our skill sets. So we straight up saw a synergy in training people with disabilities. But what we also in the journey of working, we wanted to institutionalize the special forces spirit outside. What we also realized is that there are people like us, civil domain specialists, who are also equally specialists in their own field. Viktor Petrov is one such guy. He comes from the commercial diving space. He's got phenomenal knowledge on developing safety protocols. He's been working with us trying to make commercial diving accessible for people with disabilities. That's one of the areas through which we would like to catalyze employment for people with disabilities. Over to Viktor.
Hello guys, hi, I hope you can hear me. A very warm hello from the country called Bulgaria. It's a huge privilege to be able to join you on this team and on this project, because you're all such amazing people with vast experience, not only life experiences, but also professional. And I believe the motivation that can be gathered through in order to help this effort can truly make wonders. And in what we're about to do, integrity is very important, because safety it cannot be compromised in what we're aiming for. So I believe with the heart and the integrity that this team has, it can achieve that, definitely, because, and it has once more proven that, because I mean, the glacier expedition was definitely more than a challenging task in more than challenging circumstances, as if the nature, the weather conditions weren't bad. The COVID stuff is also definitely making things harder. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and that's it from me. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Viktor. So that's Viktor Petrov from Bulgaria. Next is Faisal Al-Musawi from Kuwait. Faisal is the current world record holder for the fastest underwater 10-kilometer swim. He hails from Kuwait, and in a car accident, he got paralyzed. He's a wheelchair user. So that has not stopped him from becoming an entrepreneur and exploring the field of adaptive adventure sports, to be able to not just work on himself, but also to be able to inspire others. And he has also gone ahead and set up rehabilitative facilities for people with disabilities in Kuwait. He also does entrepreneurial handholding for people with disabilities in Kuwait. And yeah, over to Faisal.
Hi. At the beginning, I'm too happy to become a part of this team and of this webinar. So, as you said, I am Faisal Al Musawi. At the beginning, I became disabled from car accidents since 2005. So I think 16 years or 17 years, like that. So I become a paraplegic at 90-10 level with my wheelchair. So I have a new life with my wheelchair. About my journey with the diving. So before my disability, I was a football player. So I am a sportsman. So I'm active on the side. I feel like I have 11 players in my side when I'm sitting on the wheelchair at the beginning. So I'm searching about some activity or talent to put all my power inside this talent. So I'm searching many things. Then I become with the diving. So I'm start the dive since 2009, I think. And I feel that the diving is too relaxed for people who non-handicapped people. But the people with disability, they feel they need hard work to feel comfortable under the water. So for that, I feel happy because I feel all my power can lost it under the water. So when I'm start in 2009 with the first license, open water license, when I came back at my home, I put plan for 10 years. So when I put a plan for 10 years, my target to send messages around the world about the social inclusion of people with disability. So I need to show the people, Faisal or anyone with disability, they can live and they can break the records like any people without disability. So at the beginning, I went to the Sebedan Island by liveaboard to see the world, and not just in the Gulf or Kuwait. I need to see a new live marine around the world. Then I will start with the new, the next step with the liveaboard on Maldives Island. So I need more experience to get my biggest dream. Then the third step for prepared for my biggest dream, I went to the Similan Island in Thailand. Just I need to bring more experience to myself to prepare myself for the biggest dream. Then I went to the Disselgorm Erik in Sharm el-Sheikh. Then I went to Raja Ampat in Indonesia. Then I feel I must start for my biggest dream. My biggest dream, I need to achieve the record, not just for handicap and non-handicap person, who was in a Guinness World Record. So for that, there is a record for 10 kilometers. Someone non-handicapped, he achieved in 2011, I think, 10 kilometers in 6 hours and 21 minutes. For me, it's too much, 6 hours under the water. But after that, I will feel like a normal person for myself and around my environment. I will train myself around 8 to 9 months, between 3 to 10 hours daily under the water, just for achieve the biggest dream for me. In 2018, I achieved the record and I break the record. And as they said, I smashed the record because 10 kilometers, not in 6 hours and 21 minutes, no, 10 kilometers in 5 hours and 24 minutes, almost 1 hour, I break the record. So for that, they called me a Guinness World Record holder and website, Superhuman. Superhuman, it's mean like in half body, I break a record for, or smash the record for normal person. So for that, I send message around the world about the social inclusion of the people with disability. After that, I feel happy after that 16 years on the wheelchairs, because the people, they can hear my message by not just talk, not just in a webinar or seminar or something, no, by a record, by a smash the record. This is the small story for my journey with disability and with the diving.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Faisal. That was really fantastic what you've achieved. It's by no means a simple task. And I'm sure that's exactly what we are also trying to portray, give a message to the world records. And yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I thank all the esteemed panelists who collected here today, who were the global ambassadors for the Operation Blue Freedom Water World Record. And with that, I would now request Major Vivek Jacob to say a few words and then conclude the event. Yeah, sir, over to you.
Firstly, it's a great. It's a dream, unfolding. It's a dream unfolding for me. I'm a common man, just like all people in this world. And as a common man, I saw a dream. I felt a dream, and the dream was of freedom. And this is an expression of my feeling of freedom. That is all. And somewhere in the journey of my life, I was in the special forces. I was an extreme human being, and doing extreme things in my line of my profession. And it's a game of life and death. Every time we used to go out, it was always there was always this thought, whether we're going to get back or not, and it gave me a very, very close look of it was right in my face as to the fragility of life and the value of what it means to be able to be alive was in my face all the time. I was in the special forces for 14 years, and out of those 14 years, 9.5, 10 years, I was in the field. And in that time, I questioned the nature of our reality, the reality that we experience as common human beings, as just a simple man. So somewhere there was a need there was a feeling, there was a need for expansion, a need to understand who am I, what am I, and what am I doing out here? Why am I alive? Why was I born? What can I do? And things like that. And during the course of my service, I had a combat free fall or skydiving accident. I was in hospital for some time, and I met a person on a wheelchair. He was an Air Force officer, and he had basically got neck down paralyzed when he had dived into a swimming pool. And he came up to me. He was in hospital at that time, and he heard about me, and he came up to me and he asked me if a person like him could scuba dive. And maybe because of the special forces way of being, or whatever it was, I just thought that, why not? So it started with that, and in the process of I just kind of promised him, okay, we will scuba dive, one day we will. And I went back, with a pen and paper, and I started planning and how it is possible to make this one person scuba dive. And human beings find their potential, find their potential when they explore, when they go beyond what is it that they have understood about themselves, and they explore and explore. Life is an exploration complete. That's all it is. You're constantly exploring what you are, So this is an expression of that, and it's not an expression of one human being. It is the expression of the human species itself. So, you know, and in this exploration of what am I, you know, I got to understand a lot of things, and I understood that all of us are limited. You know, all of us feel limited. It's just about your perception about life. You know, we feel limited about what we can do, what we can create, and things like that. And somewhere I found the power. I found the power of the ability to create life itself, create life for yourself. What gives sense to you? What makes sense to you of how life could be? You know, the world is a massive place. The earth is huge, and there are billions and billions of people on this planet, and but we're just stardust. You know, our planet is just stardust in the universe. It's nothing, but it is something, and we are something. So I found it was a search. It was a search for God. It was a search for meaning. It was a search for understanding of who am I and why am I here? What am I doing? And what am I? You know, that is all it was. And with the promise that I made to that Air Force officer to take him diving, in the fulfillment of that promise, I found my own freedom. So freedom is, for me, it became something of, not something that I'm going to achieve one day. Freedom for me became something, it became a way of being. It became a way of living. It became a way of thinking. It became a way of simply just a way of being all the time. And somewhere, you know, the journey kept unfolding, and we traveled across, and it's like this, you know, what I understood, that I realized that the universe, the world, the life that we experience is magical. There are two ways of understanding life, you know. One way of understanding life is you think of it linearly, you know, 2 + 2 + 2 + 2. You know, you operate linearly in one direction, and things add up, and you achieve, and you create more and more, and things add up, and things like that. That is one way of looking at life. But then in this journey, I had an expansion. I had an expansion of my understanding of what it means to be alive, what it means to be human. And I realized that, you know, I realized that we are in a dream. We are in a dream, and in that dream, you can actually guide your dream. You can create whatever you can dream of, and Operation Blue Freedom became a, you know, an expression of that feeling, that, you know, either free or on the way to it. Both are free, you know, both are free. Either you're free or you're on the way to freedom. And I realized that man's true potential is godlike. So God lives within us, and we have the ability to create anything, just anything. And at the essence of every human being, there's a certain consciousness, there's a certain awareness. That is our essence. We are aware, we are experiencing life. And I realize that is what is common in all human beings, in all life forms, that we are aware. And if this awareness, this individual pockets of awareness in all human beings, if it comes together, you know, if it comes together and it becomes a single entity, and it reaches a certain level of awareness, it can start creating and manifesting very, 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 very powerfully. So I was able to sum it up in one line, and that was this: that that true freedom, that is all that we seek. True freedom is a collective experience. Either all of us are free or none of us really are, you know. So that is what I realized. And the core of the human experience, the most powerful state of being, and the most pure state of being, is a state of love. So when you are in love, you know, you can do anything. So, you know, so that is what it is, you know. So I felt love. I felt love for humanity. I felt love for myself. I felt that in the special forces, I realized what death is. You know what death is. We are constantly every night when we were climbing the mountains, every night I used to think that, you know, maybe I will see the morning sun or not. I don't know. Every night when I was climbing the mountains, I used to think, I don't know if I'm going to see the morning sun. But so that showed me what death is, and the finality of it, and the endless void, you know, after that. And that's what brought life into sharp focus. And that's when I realized that in life we are potential gods. We are the gods. The idea of God lives through us. If we are not there, there is no God. So, you know, God lives through us. So we are an expression of the God consciousness, and things like that. You know, pardon me for taking you down a trip like that, but that's what I feel, and that is the core, and that's the truth of Operation Blue Freedom. Operation comes from the word of our military background, our approach to this particular concept of freedom. And like it has been explained, that blue is the color of our earth, our home, and freedom is freedom. So somewhere I saw the connect that if we concentrate on supposedly the weakest section of our consciousness, right? We as a human race, we feel that when we get disabled or we are at our weakest. So if the weakest could collect that energy, could collect and create something, and create something that the world has not seen, that 99% of people in this globe have not done. You know, people skydiving independently, people scuba diving independently, people climbing mountains independently, despite of their disabilities. You know, it would unlock freedom in all our souls, and we would experience a different life. So it's just a dream. And what is life but not a dream? You know, it's just a dream. And this is an expression of a dream that I see collectively with all of you. So it's an amazing journey. I mean, like, you know, there's nothing much to life, is there? You know, you earn some money, you grow old, you look after your kids, they grow up and they go away. But to find meaning for whatever little time that we are here, to be able to live expansively, to live to the fullest, to live to what you are capable of, you know, either there or on the way to that place, both are free. So Operation Blue Freedom is a collective experience. It is a collective consciousness. It is the core of all of us coming together, the core, which is the same in all of us. Like Daniela is conscious that at the core of her, she's a consciousness. Victor is a certain consciousness. Leo is a certain consciousness. Faisal is a consciousness. Mark Roche is a certain consciousness. All that is what binds us. That consciousness is what is common amongst us. If that consciousness coagulates, if it concentrates, it can start creating big time. It can create whatever it believes in. So it is just an expression of that. And in this journey, and we will achieve We will achieve because of a simple fact that that whatever is good for the universe will support it, and what we are doing is good for the universe, right? It is good. It is what we are doing is good. At the soul of it, it is pure. It is pure spirit. It is pure freedom. That is it. And it's such a like, for me, you know, just a simple man. Yeah, just a simple man. I'm a fucking nobody, right? But if just a simple man like me can dream a dream so big and actually watch it unfolding, it just goes to show. And that's what you know, we are here to share with the rest of the world. We are here to share with the rest of the world that if you have a dream and that dream is pure, and it is an expression of your deepest self, it will happen. It will come true. You could not have dreamt it if it was not possible. So I would have ideally thanked all of you, but thanks are not in order, because we are all doing this for ourselves. We are doing this for ourselves. This is an expression of freedom of the deepest core of ourselves, and we will create. And all the obstacles, you know, it's been a roller coaster. It's been crazy. We've had ups and downs and things like that, and it's been crazy. But we've always you know, we've always conquered. Always. We have never failed, right? So so the universe is walking with us, and thank you to everyone who has joined us here. I'll leave it at this, you know, I'll just leave it at this. And the whole point of Operation Blue Freedom is to be able to create these human ability biomes. That is the point. The world records are being created to shatter this perception of inability that all human beings carry. Disability is not limited to people with physical disability or psychological disabilities or things like that. Disability, it's a human condition. It is a mindset that we have grown up with, which tells us that we are not capable. We cannot do this or we cannot do that, right? But actually, that is not the truth. Our core is God, and this is an expression of a God-like freedom, and it is a collective expression. It will flow through us. God expresses himself through human beings, through life, and this is the core. So that's all I have to say, and I hope to see you guys you know, in the water.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your summing up of the core philosophy behind Operation Blue Freedom, and what drives us, and what is it that we believe in. With that, I'll take on a few questions. The people will just do a quick wrap before I address a few questions. So feel free to type out your questions. I'll just take on some of them from the attendees which has come. Basically, they're asking one question from I think Sumit. It's asking how do people fund Amit? Yeah, Amit Magadum is asking how do people fund world records? You know, it's nobody funds anything. You snatch it and make it happen. You know, so it's by the power of sheer conviction. When we did our land world record till 2 days before the launch of the event, we didn't have any money to do it, but we always marched powerfully with conviction. Then the rest of the universe just aligned, and you know, things happened. There's Mahindra that walked in, there are other sponsors who walked in, you know. So when you have that level of a deep conviction, when you throw it out in the universe, and things happen, that's how powerfully it has moved for us. So that was the first question. So the second question has been asked by Parikshit. I think I've answered that. Yeah. So what disabilities profile can take part in the water world record? So in the land world record, the disability profiles were restricted to amputees and people with visual impairments. So in the water world record, it will be an expansive space. Basically, we have taken people who are even neck down paralyzed underwater scuba diving. So we'll have a mix of people who are wheelchair users, people who are amputees, people who are fully visually impaired. So that will be the general configuration. Basically, scuba diving is far more accessible than other adventure sports, especially for people with disabilities, primarily also for people on wheelchairs. Now, it's very, very accessible, and if done safely and with the kind of expertise, I mean, we get it done. So yeah, so other things pertain to meeting CLAW, how to contribute. So regarding all of those people who've been reaching out to us, many of you have been reaching out wanting to help in catalyzing the mission. So we would like to just say one thing: if your heart is in the right place, your help will reach us. At the moment, you could reach out by volunteering your time with us, and so on and so forth. And if you need anything, we always put it out there. And you guys have been a powerful energy behind all of this. Yeah, that's how you can. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I think I've addressed most of the questions. Anybody? Okay. Can a person without disability do scuba diving along with Team CLAW? Definitely. We run courses where we simultaneously train people with disabilities and non-disabled people together. That's one of our core fundamental philosophies, where we feel that when people train together, there is a lot of phenomenal mutual understanding, co-learning, and evolution that happens. So we always run mixed batches where we have at least 50% people who are non-disabled and 50% disabled. The proportion varies from batch to batch, but that's how we usually train. So our regular courses are at the moment under suspension because the entire team is busy with the world records. So post the world records, of course, at Pondicherry facility, and we are also looking to set up a facility in Lakshadweep and so on. We will be resuming our batches. You can watch, keep following us on our website and our social media handles. Yeah. So the last thing I would request all the audiences who've taken out this time to come here is please spread the word in the community of people with disabilities in your circle. You will be surprised to know that there are so many people with disabilities in your own circle whom you were not aware of. This is a story that we have repeatedly heard, that they were not aware such a person existed in their colony, in their apartments, in their family circles. Right? Reach out to them, talk to them, tell them about Operation Blue Freedom, and do spread the word. That's the least that you can do. And thank you all. And we'll definitely be posting all of this on our social media handles. Yeah, thank you one again. Sir, any closing remarks?
No, it's just such a pleasure to see Victor Petrov again, and Daniela. And this is the first time I'm actually getting to meet Leo and Faisal. Of course, I've met him in person, and Mark Roche is God on earth. It's just when we started out, we were nothing. We had nothing. We had nothing. And Mark Roche and Jim Gallagher, they believed. They just heard what we spoke, and we had nothing else but words. At that time, and they believed. And same as with Victor and Daniela. We just had words, and there was nothing else, and they believed then. And once again, I'd say, I wouldn't want to thank you because we are teammates in this journey. So we don't thank each other, but we walk with each other. We'll walk and we'll walk and we'll walk, and we'll reach there every day, right? We'll reach there every day. And it's just great. It's just great to be life is amazing. To find these are just expressions of God just accumulating. Thank you so much. This is lovely.
If any panelists would like to say anything, the house is open for the panelists. Daniel?
Just an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to it, and just amazing working with you guys. Major Jacob was just saying there, that, you know, you guys came with words, and they were really powerful words, because what you're trying to do is change the world, you know, change how we see disability, change giving those opportunities to people with disabilities. And it's just an amazing thing to be part of.
Thank you. Thank you. Victor?
Well, a strong word that stood out for me in Major Jacob's speech was purpose. And I believe that this endeavor is giving all of us purpose. And what's more, it's helpful to people outside of our immediate circle, which I believe is a necessary quality, you know, to how to say it. Sorry, English is not my first language, obviously. It's a necessary requisite to bring a person's life quality up. You know, when you start living for not only for yourself, but when your work can transcend your personal self, I believe it's a great opportunity. And
Thank
it's
you.
very
Thank you.
honorable.
Victor in his spare time is leading the Russian mafia.
Yeah, Leo.
I just want to say simply that I agree 100% with everything said. I admire and respect the attitude and the spirit, and over that, the reasons that it's moving to all of us, you know, to be where we at, and to put everything that we can to help more people, and to show them that the disability is just a state of mind, is not physical. So thank you for create this group of people all together going into the same direction and trying to change the world just a little piece at a time. So thank you so much again to let me be part of this.
Thank you, Leo. Faisal.
Thank you so much for everything, and I appreciate to become a team. And our message it's become more strong when we have a team like this team, and all the people in this team, they have a messages, but we can send a very strong message when we have like this team again. So thank you so much, and I appreciate everything. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Faisal. Mark.
Yeah, just I'm not sure if I can add too much more, but you know, yeah, this is going to be great, and so it's going to be you know, first time ever. So
yeah,
you know, just
thank you. Yeah, so I'll just, before we wind up for the day, I would just like to inform all panelists that we'll be following it up with follow-up meetings where we'll be updating the next steps, what has been done so far, what are the timelines involved, what are the roles, responsibilities. We'll be getting that on a call within the next couple of days, and we'll be discussing it with each of you guys. Once again, thank you everyone. Thank you to all the attendees for taking out their valuable time. And with that spirit, we march forward, and we invite people with disabilities from across the globe to sign up and catalyze this mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.